and welcome to the first Kopala TV main news broadcast for the year 2020. We get straight into the headlines. Deepening economic doldrums worry ZCTU. 3 political parties to jostle Chilubi parliamentary seat. Debate on sale of presidential jet continues. And in foreign news, New South Wales declares 7-day state of emergency as Australia's deadly bushfire rages. Join us after this. To present the Kopala TV main news in detail, my name is Wabwila Musongole. The Zambia Congress of Trade Unions ZCTU says the PF government should do a self-introspection on why the country's economy is not performing as expected. ZCTU President Chishimba Nkole says that there is need for government to find pragmatic solutions to the current economic meltdown. Blessings Malama has details in the following report.
The year 2019 has been described an extremely difficult one. Even President Edgar Lungu has admitted that the performance of the economy in the year under review was dismal. The head of state admitted this during his State of the Nation address on the eve of New Year on Tuesday. The Zambia Congress of Trade Unions ZCTU has held its review meeting for the year 2019. The union, through its president Chishimba Nkole, has described 2019 as gloomy, particularly for workers. Mr. Nkole says the economic meltdown that the country is experiencing is a source of concern, adding that the PF should up its game. Mr. Nkole said the economic meltdown with its attendant factors of fuel increases, rising cost food and increased electricity tariffs was as a result of disregard for people's views. He further added that the situation might worsen if cautious measures were not put into place.
We hope that workers will be paid their bonuses and other necessary remunerations after such a difficult year. We are saying 2019 was a difficult year because the economy continued on a trajectory of job losses without creating new ones. The gap between the rich and the poor continued widening, and we saw deepening poverty everywhere. Our economy's growth prospects were largely compromised by a number of challenges, including shortage of electricity energy, low crop yields, high debt service obligations, and generally low productivity levels. This had put a lot of pressure on the performance of the kwacha against major international currencies. It is saddening, ladies and gentlemen, to note that the workers and marginalized sections of society have been overburdened by a number of retrogressive decisions, such as the introduction of new taxes, high food prices, excessive load shedding, high electricity tariffs, diminishing incomes, increasing fuel prices, and rising inflation. We also saw government announcing austerity measures which only culminated in government being on the offensive, attacking our hard-working nurses, teachers, police officers, cleaners, and other workers for wanting to earn a decent wage in the midst of austerity measures. This did not only make collective bargaining difficult, but sent us a signal that we had to get ready for a more difficult 2020 in the public service if the National Treasury's position is anything to go by.
The ZCTU leader disagrees with President Edgar Lungu's decision to slash salaries for senior government officials.
Let us be cautious with the way the economy and people's emotions are being handled. We do not agree with the directive by President Edgar Lungu to slash salaries of senior government officers and heads of parastate organizations, because this will not provide a solution to the many economic difficulties that are being faced by the majority.
Mr. Nkole also touched on the governance issues and the National Health Insurance Act, among other key issues. Blessings Malama, Kopala TV News in Kitwe.
Meanwhile, the Judicial and Allied Workers Union of Zambia President Peter Mwale says the year 2019 was a challenging year. Mr. Mwale has advised the government not to subject workers to untold hardships in the year 2020. He said workers were subjected to lower salaries in the year 2019, adding that union leaders who elected to speak for marginalized workers were often misunderstood. Lovely Kayombo has details in the following report.
Judicial and Allied Workers Union of Zambia President Peter Mwale says 2019 was a very challenging year for the Zambian workers. In an interview, Mr. Mwale said in 2020, government should not subject the workers to untold suffering and misery experienced in 2019. He said in 2019, workers were subjected to the lowest salary increment, and union leaders opted to speak on their behalf were intimidated and in most instances locked up in police cells.
2019 has been a very, very difficult year for judicial workers, or let me say generally all the workers in this country, because as you may be aware, 2019 is a year that we saw the lowest salary increment. 2019 is a year where we saw a lot of union leaders being intimidated. 2019 is a year where we saw the cost of living skyrocketing. 2019 is a year that we have seen untold suffering and misery. 2019 we have seen retired public servants, civil servants camping at the Ministry of Justice demanding for their payments. 2019 is a year that we saw Bill number 10, which is almost disadvantaging public servants who retire. When they are not paid their terminal benefits, they want to be removed from the payroll. 2019 is a year that we have seen the minimum price reaching the highest ever since independence of this country. 2019 is a year that we have seen the dollar reaching the highest ever in this country. 2019 is a year that we have seen farmers not being paid their money by FRA. 2019 is a year that we have seen a lot of civil servants being retired in national interests.
Reporting in Lusaka, I'm Lovely Kayombo.
Council workers in 68 councils across the country have not been paid their 3-month salaries. Zambia United Local Authorities Workers Union General Secretary Emmanuel Mwinsa has confirmed the development in an interview with Kopala TV News. Mr. Mwinsa has attributed the non-payment of salaries to delays by government to disburse the local government equalization fund to councils. Mr. Mwinsa says the union is in talks with the Ministry of Local Government so that the delayed funds are released. The Zulawu General Secretary adds that council workers are running out of patience over the delayed pays. Mr. Mwinsa is urging the government to ensure that the delayed funds due to councils are disbursed to avoid unnecessary work stoppages. Zambia National Union of Teachers, ZANUT Secretary General Newman Bubala says in order to improve efficiency in the education system, there is need to encourage specialization among teachers. Mr. Bubala says the current system where a teacher is meant to teach 2 subjects in a role is not sustainable. Here is the report.
There's a common saying that education is key to success, and this has been a driving factor for most pupils to aim high and score maximum points in exams. But recently, the pass rates has been a subject of contention, and mainly this has been attributed to overcrowding in classrooms and a poor teacher-pupil ratio. But the Zambia National Union of Teachers General Secretary Newman Bubala suggests that in order to improve efficiency in the education system, there's need to encourage specialization among teachers. Mr. Bubala says the current system where a teacher is meant to teach more than 2 subjects in a row is not sustainable, since teachers to consider majoring in specific subjects and consider going for retraining or further studies.
Issues of specialization, and I think we believe that before any points come in this line to take out that should chat, I think there are some concerns we have seen with the specialization, and it's better that we sit together and chat how best specialization can be taken. As the union, we believe that grade 1 to grade 4 should not be so specialized. We believe people should have a broad way of approach to grade 1, that one teacher should really be. They might have started here and there, but I think indicators that it's better we have grade 1 to grade 4 over each class taught by the individual teacher. Grade 5 there above, We believe specialization can be, but we mean that those teachers should be retrained to suit into the line of the policy which has come in. Because it's not just a matter of choice that I can teach this, I can teach this. Yes, we know, but you need us to understand the deeper content. That's what specialization for us means. You need to go further training in the subject of children, grade 5 and 7, so that you have deeper understanding than ordinary way. You had 8 subjects maybe, now you're going to concentrate on those 2. So you need to go deeper and major in those subjects at primary level.
Reporting in Lusaka, I'm Lovely Kayombo.
Residents of Lusaka's Ngwerere Ward 19 are drawing water from shallow wells owing to an acute water shortage that has hit the area. Lovely Kayombo has details in the following report.
Lusaka's Ngwerere Ward 19 Councillor Adrian Banda says prolonged load shedding in the area has affected water supply. Mr. Banda said the people in the area are now resorting to drawing water from shallow wells dug near the sewer ponds in Garden Compound. He said this is posing a health risk to the residents and has advised them to refrain from drawing water near the sewer ponds.
We are trying, but there's some challenges which we are facing in terms of water supply due to load shedding. And the shedding has been caused by climate change. And through this period I've seen, I went around my ward, I found that the people have got challenges of fetching water, which is very soon water should be excessive to be restored and everything will be normalized. But I'm appealing to the general public, especially in my ward. I've received some complaints and some information to say people have started now fetching water near sewer ponds along where there is shallow wells. Please, that the water is contaminated. Don't ever, please, I beg of you. And I've sent the team of WDC to make sure that they stop those who will be found there.
Reporting in Lusaka, I'm Lovely Kayombo.
PF Lusaka District Chairman David Silubanje is saddened by the continued attacks by opposition political party leaders. Details are in the following report.
The continued attack on President Edgar Lungu by opposition political parties has saddened the PF in Lusaka district. Addressing constituency officials in Mandevu, PF Lusaka district chairman David Rubanje says the continued hatred directed at President Lungu is a recipe for anarchy. He said there's need to respect the presidency because it has the mandate of the people. Mr. Rubanje has since called on police to step up their efforts in ensuring that the proponents of hate speech are arrested.
Jealous. Sure. This man is there, I must also be there. It doesn't move like that. Only God gives. This is a Christian nation. We are just celebrating our declaration by our forefathers. They declared this nation as a Christian nation, and we believe in that. There are no doubts. We believe it's a Zambia is a Christian nation, and we are very happy to mention to every individual. And because of that, Christianity demands discipline. Wow. Christianity demands what? Discipline. So this nation, we must be disciplined.
And PF Lusaka District Secretary Forbes Mfwaya took a swipe at the newly constituted Mandevu Constituency Committee for failing to mobilize the party. He said the district party leadership is deeply concerned that the constituency executive is underperforming and asked them to step up their efforts.
The newly constituted committee or constituency mandates where do you intend to start working? If at all you will start working, or why are you not working?
And Mandevu Constituency Chairman Leonard Mulenga had this to say regarding the underperformance of his committee.
I know what I'm doing, but what I don't like is people itching me. They are going around, but they are reporting.
Reporting in Lusaka, I'm Lovely Kayombo.
3 political parties have announced intentions to contest the vacant Chilubi constituency parliamentary by-election scheduled for February 13th next month. Here is the report. On February the 13th next month, the people of Chilubi Island in the Northern Province will be going to the polls to elect a member of parliament. The Chilubi parliamentary seat fell vacant following the death of area lawmaker Rosario Fundanga from the PF. Last week, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, announced that the parliamentary by-election in the area will be held next month. According to Margaret Chimanese, the ECZ spokesperson, all persons and political parties interested in contesting the seat are expected to file in their nominations on January 16, 2020. Following the ECZ announcement, 3 political parties have announced their intention to jostle for the poll. PF Deputy Secretary Mumbi Piri says the party has so far received 17 applications from prospective candidates planning to stand on the party's ticket. Ms. Piri says of the 17, 2 are women.
We have received some applications. I think we have 12 candidates who are trying to contest for the seat, and we have women. It's so encouraging that we have also women who have applied. We have 2 women who have applied to contest that seat. We have 17 candidates, and we are yet to confirm when we are sitting to pick the candidate.
And the opposition UPND and NDC have also confirmed their participation in the Chilubi poll. UPND Secretary General Stephen Katuka says the party is poised to scoop the seat.
I wish to confirm to you that we cannot go to participate in an election. Then there will be no election. You know that if UPND doesn't participate, then there's no election. Well, only one candidate, of course. There can only be one candidate. We will unveil the name of our candidate at the right time. For now, we are doing the process of picking a candidate. So before the nomination day, we will have unveiled the name of our candidate.
Meanwhile, the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC) spokesperson Saboye Mboila says the party has received 3 applications from persons intending to contest the seat under the NDC.
As NDC, we're participating in the Chilubi by-elections. We had an overwhelming response from members of the public and the party that wanted to participate in the elections. And I am particularly happy that we had both women and men coming out to avail themselves for this by-election. So as Central Committee, we shortlisted a total number of 3 candidates, and those are the people that are being looked at, or rather the structures did shortlist a total number of 3 candidates, and Central Committee is looking at those 3 to ensure which one of the 3 is the best so that they will represent the people of Chilubi.
Chilubi constituency has over 46,000 registered voters. Wabula Musongole, Kopala TV News in Kitwe. In case you have just tuned in, you're watching the Kopala TV main news. Join us after the break. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, the roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to, with appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters. If you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And, above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samaria Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Dola, or call us on 0212 613 336 or 0212 619 992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Kopala TV, Kopala, ya buena, buena, mumwesu, Kopala. Kopala TV.
My number. Ishusho limentindeaza yama oji orushani. Kopala TV.
Yama oji. Imuntu wandi yesu. Fwebene by fwebene. Fwebene. Naidede kalasti. Iyako kopala futi yaba kopala.
Manje kuikatashani yoinai. Naena ya kuntambo oroni jiviji.
Wala iwe. Ile sangwa patopsta decoder. Channel 98 paku. Ninshi yatubira. Puta menso ninshi yalila ni efidimbwi. Kule izimoli la femunjazi.
So yuri landati Kopala TV tayawanga yama boiling channel wako vatu wachila tamba fe wino. Kwangwa filamba fyambo kupona. Uruwa mfotoro. Bantu ifuma chane we fingi. Fiamu pura fi.
Alula iwe. Kopala TV ni Kopala futi eile kuchalo. No shali mokuba molasti. Elo ile sansa Kopala yonse my number. Ukwambila pepa my number pandola. Lwansha. Kito paketi ke. Mufudila mufuken. Chingola pa chingo begi na chidila. Iwe. Kopala TV, liko.
Muntu wanja pakushongora pufika top star we tatande tambera pufi Kopala TV. Pachani o 98 apa kude konkana ne charo bamba to bamba. Ni pate after pate. Wo, pate after pate. Wo. Kopala TV, OG. Kopala TV, available on Topstar Channel 98. Kopala TV, entertainment just for you.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
One Zambia, one nation.
Zambia chalo chesu. Stop political violence.
I am Zambian. I am against political violence.
I am Zambian, and I say disarm all cadres now.
It's not one Zambia if we kill each other. Stop the violence.
It's not good killing one another as Zambians. Stop the violence.
Let's keep the peace in our streets. Let's work to stay one Zambia.
It's not one Zambia if we kill each other. Stop the violence.
Ndimwina Zambia. Lekeni ukulwa pamulandu wa politics.
Welcome back. The opposition Democratic Party DP has waged a crusade urging the government to sell the presidential jet. The party, through Judith Kabemba, its spokesperson, says money raised from the jet sale could be channeled to other needy areas such as paying retirees. However, this view has received resentment from other political parties such as the Rainbow Party. Here is the report. It is a subject that has raised a heated debate on social media, and the entire issue dwells on the recently acquired presidential jet for the head of state, President Edgar Lungu. The opposition Democratic Party, DP, is pushing the crusade. The DP wants the jet sold and proceeds diverted to other social sectors such as paying retirees.
We have launched a campaign which we are calling Sell the 135 million USA dollars jet, because we strongly feel that purchasing that jet was not a priority for this country at a time like this. You agree with me that the government of the Republic of Zambia has been calling for austerity measures, and to see the government purchase a jet at such an exorbitant price, I think it does not represent what they have been talking about. And further, in the midst of so many challenges that this country is going through. For example, we have seen our mothers and fathers that have been camping at the ministry for some time now, asking for their payment of their retirement payments, which they have not been given. We have seen the increase in the price of fuel. We have seen the increase in the price of the electricity tariffs. We have seen how our farmers have been struggling to get fertilizer and other farming inputs. We've also seen that there's been no sustainable youth and women empowerment in this country. And if that money was to be channeled to any of these needs that we have mentioned, I think it would really be of a great deal for the citizens of this country. And therefore, we are calling on the Republican President, President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, to please consider selling that jet, because that jet is not doing any good to this country. It is not bringing any profit to this country other than an extra expenditure of fuel, insurance, and maintenance. Therefore, we ask that that jet be sold in order to save the people of Zambia.
However, political parties such as the New Congress Party feel otherwise.
As New Congress Party, we want to call upon the Zambian people to ignore petty politics or political rhetorics that are circulating, suggesting that the presidential jet should be sold and the proceeds taken to power generation. We need to be proud as a country that we have a strong air force system. We cannot be subjective on matters that concerns the president just because you're not president and you want to demean the president in such a manner. Let's be able to understand and put the facts on record. Even the very Tanzania has got an airline of itself. They've got a plane that carries the symbol of their flag. Today we can be able to say under Magufuli, they bought a plane that is an air force, that is under Tanzanian Airways. We need to be proud as a country when we have made particular slides in ensuring that our president moves in a deserving manner.
The opposition Rainbow Party on the Copper Belt, through Humphrey Kabwe, its spokesperson, have also downplayed the suggestion to sell the presidential jet.
I think what I can say is that selling, yes, for sure, buying that presidential jet at the time the country is going through hard time was not a very good idea. And because that money could have been used for social sectors like education, health, and agriculture, and other areas which could have benefited most of the Zambians, rather than having one individual moving with that expensive jet, get the country too poor. But selling, for us, selling is not the ultimate solution, or it's not the best solution, because we have seen many companies, for example, during privatization, that have been sold. What has the country benefited from selling of the company? The answer is no, nothing. I think some political parties are just being cheap in the way they want to politics. The best we should think of What are we going to do as a country so that we don't use the money for small things or for individuals like the president only enjoying that presidential jet? The best we should think is, what are we going to offer as a party? For example, the manifesto. Do we have a proper manifesto that is going to help redeem the country? Okay? Selling is not a solution, but what is the party manifesto? It's a thing that we should be using for economic challenges. If we are going to provide solutions, we don't think selling will provide the solution to the economic challenges that we are facing currently. But the only way we are saying is we should move away from capitalism, because capitalism centers on selfishness, centers on individuals. That's why the president can go out and buy a presidential jet like that. As Rainbow Party, we believe the only solution is to bring in socialism. Socialism that will involve Zambian people getting involved in the economic activities. Because currently, most of the Zambians are not involved in the economic activities. So I think selling is not a solution. That has already been bought, and we have no option but to think of what the department says, so what are we going to provide so that we redeem the economic challenges that we are facing.
The exact cost of the presidential jet is unknown, but it is widely believed that the jet cost the country between 65 to 100 million US dollars. Wabwila Musongole, Kopala TV News in Kitwe. The Center for Primary Care Research Director Feston Goma is concerned with the high levels of tobacco intake in Lusaka. Delivering a lecture at the University of Zambia, Dr. Goma said effects need to be put in place to ensure that Lusaka becomes a smoke-free city. He has since called on President Edgar Lungu to show political will and come up with a law prohibiting public smoking.
Lusaka, smoke-free city. And at that time, the Center for Primary Care Research invited the office of the Vice President to actually come and launch that event. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know who came from the office of the Vice President? President Edgar Lungu himself. He came and launched a smoke-free Lusaka campaign in 2010. And should we not remind him now that it's time, as president, he came to make that to bear on the city? That is one reason. The second reason, ladies and gentlemen, is that the PF manifesto is the only manifesto that has tobacco control in it. And in that manifesto, it was clearly stated that the PF government is going to bring about a law that is going to be in line with the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. It is as explicit as that. Now you will be asking, how did it get there? Okay? Partly we were with the drafters. Okay, we knew who was contributing to that manifesto, and so we put it in. And I'm sure you know that Joseph Kasonde was a very close friend of ours.
In foreign news, protesters who have been demonstrating outside the US Embassy in Iran have withdrawn from the area after a tense standoff. On Tuesday, the embassy was attacked by a crowd angered by US airstrikes targeting an Iran-backed militia. And finally, in foreign news, the Australian state of New South Wales has declared a 7-day state of emergency as Australia's deadly bushfire rages. We join the BBC once again.
They were told to get out. Holidaymakers packed the road to flee before dawn.
Be a bit scary being here Saturday.
Urged to leave every coastal town from the Victorian border right up to Bateman's Bay, and there, stretching through the smoky landscape across the Princes Highway Bridge, a jam for kilometres just to get enough fuel for the journey. How long you been waiting in the queue?
A good hour and a half.
Some feared they'd be stuck. One woman leaving the car with a jerry can in hand.
It's just up the road a bit further and it was like really nearly on empty, didn't have many kilometres left and just needed to get fuel in case we had to evacuate. Yeah, there's not really know where to go anyway with the traffic.
Escaping up the Princes Highway towards Sydney, gridlock, and all around reminders of why fire chiefs want tourists out by Saturday. The local oval a last chance to get some on-the-ground advice. For those in Conjola, the all clear came from police to leave and there was no shortage of holidaying families lining the road, ready and waiting.
We ended up evacuating down to the beach and we just stayed there until it was safe to come back.
I feel more safe now and that I'm getting away from the fires because now I know that I don't have to have cold showers anymore.
Further north at Sussex Inlet, it was slow going with fires temporarily shutting the highway.
We waited about 2 hours, mate, to get out of there. They were letting 50 cars out to go at a time.
Some made the decision to turn around and head back towards Bateman's Bay.
Confident that that will again be restored and we will be able to have people travel both ways, north and south of Bateman's Bay, into the night and certainly tomorrow.
Some will try leaving again tomorrow. The escape routes are north along the Princes Highway out of the evacuation zone. And from Moruya, the highway has reopened to the south. Drivers can travel to the Snowy Mountains Highway turnoff and Bega. Patience could be your best friend.
You can't even see what's oncoming. Oh, well done, mate. You passed one car.
Just ask people to be patient. I know you can have kids in the car and there's anxiety and there's stress and the traffic is not moving quickly.
The fear is more situations like this. A family armed with a hose as fire circled.
I got it. Get inside. Get us a jacket.
Conditions on Saturday are expected to be worse than New Year's Eve. For those left behind, a humanitarian problem is brewing. Power is still out in some areas, and in towns where cash is now everything, it's hard to get. There are queues for basic essentials like food. Supplies are dwindling.
There's nothing cold at all. No milk, no meat.
The shelves at major supermarkets are in unfamiliar territory. Staff limiting access, allowing 20 shoppers at a time in some places to avoid a crush. Emma Richardson and her daughter Caitlin desperately trying to find what they need.
Oh, just some basics really, some bread, milk, nappies, dog food.
Food and petrol supplies are at the top of the state government's emergency response.
It's understandable that getting the basics is difficult for some, but the evacuation centres should be accessed by people in those situations.
Some will take their chances.
There's nowhere to go. Good luck.
As we end the Kopala TV main news, we take a look at the headlines once again. Deepening economic doldrums worry ZCTU. 3 political parties to jostle Chilubi parliamentary seat. Debate on sale of presidential jet continues. And in foreign news, New South Wales declares 7-day state of emergency as Australia's deadly bushfire rages. Thank you for watching the Kopala TV main news. My name is Wawila Musongole, and from all of us here at the Kopala TV studios, we wish you a prosperous 2020.